Creation's journey to life. In this journey, the patterns that constitute what we have accepted as our reality will be deconstructed through self-forgiveness and reconstructed through a commitment of correction to that which is best for all life. Day 2. Happiness and me. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to refuse to understand that any change will go hand in hand with resistance, as I have to push through the automated occupation of self that is obsessed with time, till I have removed this fear-driven obsession with time and what I believe is important due to the effective ways I have allowed myself to become a participant in the current system of the individual self-obsessed with personal achievement. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to be directed by the ideas of the system about personal achievement without ever considering what is best for all life, and that what is best for all life should be my directive principle, as I should show the character of life as life, but as I show the character of the system as not life. I forgive myself that I have allowed myself to be driven by the character of the system, which is the character of the mind and not the character of life, and that I fear to be without this mind drive as energy that will make me feel good in the measurement of my own judgment, yet which would allow life to be abused, and I would feel nothing for all the abuse that happened, unless I am reminded when the feeling for life will only last a moment, before I return to the indulgence of the feel-good of the mind. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to not realize that as life, I should be able to be in constant awareness of life, and thus experience what life in all forms experience on earth. Yet I do not, and I only experience what I have decided is valid for me in my mind, regardless of the periodic reminder that all is not well with life on earth. I forgive myself that I have committed myself to my mind and the creation of personal happiness in my mind according to my rules, regardless of the harm that occurred to life in all forms at a massive scale. I forgive myself that I have always found the participation within the mind in self-interest to indulge in feeling good extremely easy and mind-fulfilling, while any action to bring about a change in the physical world that is best for all will get the least attention possible, and if possible, no attention, as it will not produce a feel-good feeling in my mind, and it will be tedious, and it will take years to change the world to be best for all, and that these years it will take will be subject to all humans on earth, which seem impossible. I find the life I designed as the mind so much easier because in my space, only me matters, and I can be happy regardless of how reality actually look or function or suffer. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to form a mind that protects me from reality, and that I have convinced myself that this mind is me, and that this mind is real regardless of what the physical reality is showing me is happening, since the time history have been recorded up to present day. I forgive myself that I have found any point that I know I have to do virtually impossible to fulfill, as I would like to remain in the indulgence of my self-created mind space, where I have given me the permission of free choice on my terms only. I forgive myself that I have defined commitment as the acceptance and allowance according to the rules of the mind and not according to that which will be best for all life. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to give value to myself as mind as the only acceptable value, regardless of the obvious physical reality that gives life to the mind. Within the allowed self-interested value, I refuse to see that the mind is less than the physical and subject to the existence of the physical in all ways. I forgive myself that I have allowed myself to use resistance to postpone committing myself to life as myself, because I feel I have already challenged the mind, without actually realizing that if I cannot walk the process to life again and again till it is done as example, I have in fact not relinquished the mind. I have only rewired my mind to another acceptable level of superiority, where I can have the choice to do what I feel like doing regardless of that which should be done, to bring about that which is best for all life. I forgive myself that I have equated and accepted and allowed personal happiness as the benchmark for all decisions, and when I am faced with a lengthy process of self-correction that should move me to action immediately, as that is the shortest version to self-correction, I will linger in the mind as if I have actual choice, while the choice I have not, I have due not exist but in my own mind. As life as form, there is no choice as to what is best for all life, as it is measurable and able to be seen directly immediately if I dare to let go of myself, created personalized self-interest. I commit myself to focus on every point that grasps my attention to see how I have created in my mind where it cannot be challenged to bring an end to my reality and return to life's reality. I commit myself to challenge every self-interested obsession with exposing to myself in self-honesty the how and why I have created such obsession in my mind, where I alone am the God of me that will place me first regardless of the harm it does to the physical world. I commit myself to stop all separate personal spaces that are in contradiction to the physical world so that I may return to life here and give to all forms as I would like to receive. I commit myself to stop participating in all personal achievement that follows the rules of the mind and the separation from life, and to only accept achievement that is aligned to provide to all physical life in all ways of lives of excellence and abundance. I commit myself to stop the mind as my directive principle, as that caused me to only consider me and mine, and to create my directive principle to be what will be best in the space time of the living flesh as the self that I will become, and to commit myself to bring this world of living words as flesh to all and every way, as that will end the suffering that has been the result of the self that was created by the mind in separated bubbles without any form of consequence or moral values. I commit myself to stop using feelings as required by the mind in relation to my indulgence and self-interest to be the determining factor of who I am and what I do and what I allow in this world. I will align myself to feel what those feel that are on the receiving end of lack, because I have deliberately designed rules that allows only me as mind to win, and I have refused to accept that there exists in this world a position where a person can do nothing to improve their condition due to the value system of the mind as money, instead of a value system that is based on life. I commit myself to rule my life with rules that support all life in space, time, and that I will refrain from participating in the mind where space, time as matter do not exist at all. I commit myself to understand that to bring about a world that is best for life, I will have great resistance both from my mind and my body, as my body is controlled at the moment by my mind, as well as from other people as minds and controlled bodies. But I will walk as I understand, just like in my process. The time will come where the physical reminder of what is real will be so clear and shocking that the mind will stop and the person will hear and come to their senses of the physical world to begin their process to realign that which is best for all life. I commit myself to walk as breath, to make sure the mind do not trick me into beliefs of tediousness, as I understand that if breath was tedious, I would not exist. I commit myself to bring an end to my ideas of free choice that only serve my mind, and to make choices that measurably works for all life in physical space-time. I commit myself to redefine commitment as the living, breathing action that is best for all life in physical space-time. I commit myself to learn to understand how the physical really functions and to stop my indulgence in the illusion as the mind, that I may stand equal as the physical, as that which is the vehicle that has given me life without me asking for it. I commit myself to restore to earth that which is real value and is equal value within all which is life. I know that any person or parent do value the lives of their family. This should be for all as the family of life, one family for all as equals as life. I commit myself to never postpone and to use postponement as an instruction to immediately act to prove to myself the benefits in physical space-time to not postpone. I commit myself to not allow the mind to set the rules of what is important and what is not. I commit myself to any time and all time required to bring this world back to that which is life, regardless of what it will take, and I commit myself not to allow the values the mind as me have become to determine what is real value until this is done.